Amazing discovery, single dad saves girl from bridge, her life-changing secret revealed. Jake had never been the kind of man who stood idly by. He had always believed that action spoke louder than words. That notion swirled in his mind like a whirlwind when he found himself staring at the shimmering creek below the tall bridge. Just moments ago, he and his daughter Lily, bubbling with joy from an exciting day at the county fair, had been laughing together. Now, that laughter hung heavy in the air, punctuated by an unthinkable sight: a girl, no older than Lily, teetering on the edge of the bridge. Fear gripped Jake's chest. His heart raced as thoughts raced even faster. How could a child come to such a desperate point? Jake's instincts kicked in, fueled by the love he felt for his own daughter. He felt every ounce of responsibility from the lessons his father had drilled into him: family, bravery, and love. "Lily, wait here," he called, not giving her a chance to argue. With each step Jake took, the ground felt surer under his feet, yet a voice of dread whispered through him. He couldn't let this girl slip away. Her tears shone like stars in the darkening sky, and he sensed the heaviness that overshadowed her. "Hey! Don't do it! Please!" he yelled, his voice hoarse with urgency. Mia turned, startled, as if his words had wrapped around her woven thoughts. She stepped back, her brown eyes wide with an emotion Jake couldn't quite place. "You don't understand," she screamed, the despair slicing through the night like a knife. The air felt thick and electric, all tension and hope waging war against one another. In a swift movement, Jake lunged forward and grasped her wrist, pulling her back just as the weight of her sorrow threatened to let go. The embrace felt surreal, a magical moment of connection. "You've got people who care, let us talk this out," he urged, both a father and a protector in that instant. "Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen." Now let's continue. News of Jake's heroic act spread through their suburban Ohio town like wildfire. Neighbors rallied around both families, providing support and reaching out to Mia with care that wrapped around her like a warm blanket. But underneath the surface, Mia bore a hidden weight. She felt hopeless beneath the pressure of perfection, an invisible girl in a crowded family, yearning to break free. Jake, with years of struggle in his heart, saw a flicker of his own battles reflected in her eyes. Torn between the roles of a mentor and a mere neighbor, he wanted to help her find her worth amidst adversity. Their connection grew deeper through shared stories, laughter, and the occasional teary session. However, as the weeks passed, an unexpected opportunity loomed for Mia: a sponsorship that could take her dream of dancing beyond their modest town. Jake's heart raced with the moral dilemma: should he push her towards that bright future, perhaps leaving her family behind, or should he gently guide her to find strength in the love that surrounded her? As Jake pondered this deep question, the community buzzed with hope, torn between aspirations and ties that bound them all together. Would he let go of Mia's hand, or would he show her the path to true belonging and success? The night air was thick with uncertainty, leaving Jake and Mia teetering on the very edge of their dreams. Jake woke up early the next morning, the sun barely peeking through the curtains, casting a soft glow across the room. His thoughts were still tangled in the events surrounding Mia's near fall from the bridge. It had been a whirlwind of emotions for him, and he felt the gravity of that moment hanging over him like a heavy cloak. The dilemma of pushing Mia towards her dreams or reminding her of the love waiting back home weighed on him. He glanced at Lily, her peaceful face calm and innocent in her slumber. A sense of overwhelming love washed over him. He couldn't help but wish for that same carefree spirit to return to Mia. But how? She needed something to pull her out of the shadows pressing on her, and he felt a deep responsibility to help her find it. Jake decided they should take a family outing, something simple yet meaningful. He hoped that spending time together would strengthen their bond, not just as father and daughter, but also as a small group with Mia included. It had been days since he reached out to her, and it felt crucial to reconnect. After a quick breakfast, he called Mia. Her voice was quiet at first, hesitant. "Hey, Jake, is everything okay?" "Everything's great. I was wondering if you'd like to join Lily and me for a day at the park," he proposed. "We've got a picnic planned with your favorite sandwiches." He heard her sharp breath on the line, a mixture of surprise and uncertainty. "I don't want to intrude or anything, not at all. You brought us together when you needed help, remember? Now it's our turn to offer some fun," he encouraged, his tone light-hearted. "What do you say?" The pause felt long, as if the weight of her hesitation hung in the air. Finally, a soft chuckle escaped her lips. "Okay. I'd love to." When she arrived at the park, the sun seemed to shine brighter. Lily rushed over to greet Mia, wrapping her arms around her in a hug that conveyed friendship without words. A blush crept onto Mia's cheeks as she smiled, the tension in her shoulders easing a bit. They set up a picnic blanket under a sprawling oak tree, the shade sheltering them from the day's warmth. Jake and Lily prepared the food while Mia picked wildflowers nearby, her gentleness shining through. As they sat down to eat, laughter erupted around the bites of sandwiches. Jake felt the happiness radiating from both girls, and for a moment, the world seemed perfect. As they finished their meal, Jake brought up the sponsorship opportunity, carefully weaving it into a comfortable conversation. "Mia, have you thought about that dance competition?" Her expression shifted, doubt clouded her features. "It seems too big for me. What if I mess up?" Jake reached over the blanket and took her hand gently, grounding her. "Mia, people see your passion. The way you dance, it's like watching a story unfold. You can't mess that up. Just be you." Mia's eyes flickered with uncertainty but also a glimmer of hope. "Maybe let us tackle it together," Jake added, squeezing her hand slightly. "We'll be here for you, every step of the way." With each word, Jake hoped to plant the seed of belief in her heart. Mia's eyes brightened, and he could see her spirit starting to awaken. Just then, Lily beckoned to them, holding a colorful kite she'd been itching to fly. "Come on, you two. Let us make some magic up there." Jake watched as they ran together, Mia's laughter bubbling like a spring thawing after winter. But as he joined them, a nagging concern tugged at him. Would he be enough to guide her through the stormy waters ahead? Did he have the strength to push her into the light when darkness loomed so close? Just then, a sudden commotion broke out nearby. A crowd gathered, murmuring in excitement. Jake's heart filled with curiosity and trepidation as he and the girls approached, unsure of what they would uncover. As Jake and the girls stepped closer to the crowd, anticipation crackled in the air. People were gathered around a street performer, a magician whose tricks had captured the attention of young and old alike. Jake caught snippets of gasps and laughter, drawing him in further. "Wow, look at that!" Lily exclaimed, her eyes wide as the magician pulled a rabbit out of a hat. Mia watched with a tentative smile, seemingly momentarily distracted from her worries. Jake felt a spark of hope ignite in him. Perhaps this outing was exactly what they all needed, a small escape from their daily troubles. He smiled at Mia, who returned the gesture, a flicker of light breaking through her shadows. The magician's act reached a crescendo, and with every flourish, Jake noticed Mia inching closer, drawn in by the spectacle. He turned to Lily, whose face was glowing with excitement. "See? This is just the beginning. Imagine how much fun we'll have at the dance competition. Do you think they'll have magic there?" Lily asked, half serious, half joking. Jake chuckled, but his heart was heavy with the weight of Mia's dreams. He wished for her to feel this joy always, not just fleeting moments masked by fear and self-doubt. As the final trick ended, the crowd erupted into applause, and Jake felt a rush of urgency to shift their focus. "Let us go over there and take a closer look." He pointed toward an open spot where a small stage for kids had been set up. They made their way through the spectators, and Mia started to relax, her laughter merging with Lily's. When they reached the front, Jake took a moment to breathe in the scene before him, his girls, free and unencumbered, their joy contagious. Then, an unexpected shout broke through. A woman in the crowd suddenly cried out, her voice filled with panic. "My daughter! She's over by the water." Jake turned instinctively toward the commotion and felt his heart race. He noticed a little girl, no older than 6, struggling at the edge of the pond, her tiny arms flailing as she slipped closer to the water's edge. The mother rushed forward, and without a second thought, Jake dashed after her. "Mia, stay with Lily." He called back over his shoulder. The world seemed to slow down as he lunged toward the girl, ensuring he reached her before she fell in. The crowd gasped, but Jake's focus was crystal clear. He grabbed the little girl just as she was about to tip over and pulled her back to safety. Relief washed over him as he looked into her scared eyes and smiled, reassuring her. But even as her mother rushed to embrace her, something lingered in the air, an undeniable link between his rescue and Mia's dance dreams. The crowd erupted into cheers for his heroic act, but all Jake could think about was how, in moments of crisis, courage spills out just like the magic they had watched moments earlier. He found Mia's gaze in the crowd. She stood wide-eyed, absorbing everything. When he reached her, breathless but smiling, he couldn't help but ask, "Did you see how quickly things can change?" Mia nodded slowly, her expression thoughtful, a hint of realization dawning in her eyes. All at once, the weight of his earlier worries felt lighter. If there was something they could all learn from today, it was that life's unpredictability holds both danger and tremendous possibility. As they walked back to the picnic blanket, a new determination seemed to arise within Mia. Perhaps the stage she had feared was in front of her after all, waiting for her to take that leap, just like he had done. Just as Jake started to bring up dance again, the magician from earlier stepped into their path, offering a friendly smile. "Excuse me, but I couldn't help but notice your daring spirit today. Can I show you a trick that could inspire anyone?" Jake looked at Mia, her eyes sparkled with renewed enthusiasm, a surprise blend of excitement and curiosity. What could this magician teach them, and more importantly, how might it spark something within her? Would it be the nudge she needed to take a leap of faith? Unbeknownst to them, that day was about to unveil even more twists. An unexpected hidden secret was waiting to be discovered. Jake exchanged a quick glance with Mia, her hopeful expression echoing in his heart. It was a rare moment, an opportunity for magic that transcended mere tricks. The magician chuckled softly, seemingly aware of the electricity in the air. "Step this way," he said, gesturing to a quiet corner away from the lively crowd. Mia hesitated for a moment, a glimmer of uncertainty flickering across her face. Jake encouraged her with a nod, feeling that this could be the spark they needed. They followed the magician, Lily bouncing ahead with uncontainable glee, her laughter a balm in the swirling uncertainty. Once they found a secluded spot, the magician took off his hat, revealing not just his colorful costume but a warmth in his eyes. "Magic isn't just about illusions," he began, smoothing down his sleeves. "It's about believing in possibilities, embracing the unknown. So, can you teach us a trick?" Lily piped up, her eagerness infectious. The magician smiled wider. "Even better, I want to share a lesson. Sometimes the best magic is what you create within yourself." He produced a deck of cards and shuffled them with deft fingers. "But first, let us see if anyone here believes in chance. Who wants to pick a card?" Jake kept his eyes on Mia, who nervously bit her lip but stepped closer anyway. The magician guided her gently, instructing her to choose a card from the deck. The world around them faded as she revealed her choice, a 6 of hearts, holding it close to her chest. "Now, remember that card," the magician said. "It represents something special. Something valuable." Mia's eyes sparkled, her anxiety dimming as she believed in the moment. Jake felt a sense of proud relief swell in his chest, knowing she was leaning into the energy around her instead of retreating into her shell. After sharing a brief tale about the importance of the 6 of hearts, the magician asked Mia to focus. "You must visualize your dreams. Picture them as clearly as you can. Dance, shine, let the magic flow from within you." Jake could see Mia focusing, her brow furrowed in concentration. The atmosphere felt charged, a magic of its own enveloping them. As the magician began to wave his hands, the deck shimmered under the sunlight, and something unexpected began to happen. Suddenly, he snapped his fingers, and the card Mia held started to glow softly, a flicker of energy cascading through it. "Now, Mia," the magician said, "believe that this card represents your future. Conjure up the confidence to make your dreams real." At that moment, Mia gasped. The energy transformed into a gentle breeze, brushing against her cheek like a whisper of encouragement. It felt surreal, almost otherworldly. Jake could hardly breathe as he witnessed the transformation in her demeanor. Here she was, a girl ready to dance with her dreams, and in that instant, she seemed unstoppable, but just as quickly as it began, the spell broke. The card returned to its matte appearance, and the magician grinned. "Magic is real, but only if you dare to believe in it." Mia's smile stretched from ear to ear, her face radiating with pure joy. That was amazing. Jake felt the warmth of hope pooling in his heart. "See, Mia. Imagine what you could do at the dance competition." Yet before she could respond, a shadow crossed the magician's face. "But every magic has its price," he murmured, his gaze shifting toward the water's edge as if recalling something grim. Curiosity piqued, Jake raised an eyebrow. "What do you mean?" The magician took a deep breath, his eyes glinting with a mix of wisdom and sadness. "Every leap of faith comes with challenges. You'll discover that soon enough." Mia looked between the two, her excitement tinged with a hint of worry. What did he know? And how might that impact her journey to dance? As they made their way back to the picnic blanket, those words lingered in Jake's mind. What secrets were beneath the surface of their cheerful day, waiting to be uncovered? Would the path ahead truly lead to the magic they all wished for? And as they settled into their spot, a new wave of uncertainty swept through Jake. What challenges awaited, and were they ready to face them together? Lily's laughter faded into the background, blending with the sounds of the bustling picnic. Jake kept his gaze on Mia, who wore a thoughtful expression, her earlier excitement now mingling with apprehension. The magician's words echoed in his mind, sinking in like a stone dropped into still water. What price would they have to pay for their dreams? And would they be up to the challenge? Mia settled down beside him on the blanket, her knee brushing against his. "Do you think it's really true, what he said?" she asked, her voice soft and slightly hesitant. "About believing in possibilities?" Jake nodded, trying to mask his own doubts. "Yeah, I do. I mean, think about it, it felt real, didn't it? You felt that energy, right?" She bit her lip again, her eyes shining but still haunted by fear. "But, if there's a price, what if I can't handle it?" Jake reached out, taking her hand in his. "We'll figure it out together. The only way to fail is not to try." Her hand was warm, and he felt a surge of enthusiasm in his chest, wanting to chase away her worry. Just as he spoke, Lily came bounding back, her curls bouncing like springs. "You guys! Look what I found." She held up a small, round object, sparkling in the sunlight. "It's a magic stone." Jake and Mia exchanged a glance, the corner of Mia's mouth twitching into a smile, a flicker of her old self starting to come back. "A magic stone?" Jake mused, kneeling down to take a closer look. "Let me see it." Lily thrust the stone into his palm. It was rough but surprisingly warm to the touch. "The magician told me that all magic has a source. This must be it." Mia's face lit up, and for a moment, all doubts faded away. "Maybe it's a sign that we should go after our dreams. What if we use this stone as a good luck charm?" Jake smiled, but internally he was still grappling with the darker implications of the magician's warning. Would the stone bring them luck? Or would it bind them to an unseen fate? But there was something infectious about Mia's excitement, and he didn't want to drag that down. "Okay, let us call it our magic stone. We can keep it with us during your competition," he said with a thumbs up, trying to sound more optimistic than he felt. Mia nodded eagerly, clasping the stone in her hand as if it held all of her dreams for the future. I'm going to practice hard, Jake. I want to dance like I never have before. That determination tugged at something deep within Jake. He wanted to protect her, to guide her through whatever lay ahead. But as they sat there, the moment felt fragile, like a bubble ready to burst. I'll be right there, cheering for you, he said, squeezing her hand gently, though he couldn't shake the weight of uncertainty bearing down on him. Lily started a game of tag, pulling them both from their thoughts. As they dashed across the picnic site, the sun hanging low in the sky, Jake caught a glimpse of the magician watching from afar. That shadow he had seen earlier had returned, an inscrutable air about him. Was he just another performer, or did he know more than he let on? Just then, Mia slipped, stumbling on the grass. Jake darted forward, his heart racing as he reached for her. He steadied her, their hands locking together as if they were connected by the magic stone itself. Thanks, Jake, she breathed, her voice a mix of gratitude and challenge. No matter what happens, I won't back down. And with those words, he felt an inexplicable shift. Could they really overcome whatever lay ahead? As the evening air cooled, Jake knew the real test was just beginning. What would they face together, and how could they transform fear into the magic that drove them forward? As night began to fall, an unexpected chill settled over the picnic area. Jake glanced again at the magician, noticing his shadowy figure had vanished. The air tingled with anticipation. Did they dare to tap into the depths of belief? What was the price of their dreams, and were they truly ready to pay it? The sun sank lower, painting the sky in strokes of orange and pink, a breathtaking backdrop for the chaos of the picnic. As laughter floated through the air, Jake felt the weight of the magic stone in his pocket. It felt heavier now, as if it had absorbed his worries along with Mia's hopeful dreams. Jake! Lily's shout pulled him from his thoughts. She'd cornered a group of their friends for a game. Come on! You have to join us. Her eyes sparkled, radiating the kind of carefree joy only children could muster. Jake couldn't help but smile. Mia squeezed his hand gently, pulling him to his feet. Let us go. We can use some fun right now. As they broke into a run, laughter spilled out of them like a song, intertwining with the vibrant sounds of the gathering. Jake couldn't shake the unease in his heart, but seeing Mia's laughter made it all feel a bit lighter. That was the magic he wanted: joy, hope, a chance to dance amid uncertainty. In the middle of the game, Jake became aware of a drastic change in the atmosphere. The energy shifted subtly, the laughter dimming slightly as if a cloud had drifted into their sunny day. He glanced around, searching for the magician's ominous figure, but it was gone. Instead, an inexplicable feeling crept into his chest. Jake, are you okay? Mia's voice cut through the stillness that had settled over him. Yeah, I'm good, just a little distracted, he replied, masking his concern with a smile. The game continued, but his thoughts churned. Could the magic stone mean something more than just a good luck charm? Lily laughed, breaking from the crowd, her cheeks flushed with excitement. This is the best day ever. Stay close, Jake reminded her, feeling a protective instinct surge. He couldn't shake the notion that as much fun as they were having, something was lurking just out of sight. After the game wrapped up, the group settled back on the grass. Mia had grown quiet again, her gaze lost in the stars now twinkling overhead. Jake noticed her fidgeting with the stone, her fingers tracing the edges as if trying to extract answers from its surface. Mia? He said softly, unsure of what to say. I just keep thinking about the competition, she admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. What if I fall? What if I'm not good enough? Jake wanted to reassure her, to tell her that her talent would shine through, but genuine doubt gnawed at him too. You will be. You're talented, Mia. That stone, maybe it's more than we think. Just then, a flicker of movement caught Jake's eye. A figure was emerging from the nearby trees, cloaked in shadow and mystery. The magician. His heart dropped. This wasn't just a performance, this was personal, the magician's voice echoed in the quiet night, rich and sinister. Do you all truly wish to explore what lies beyond your dreams? Attention filled the air, and Mia stilled beside him, eyes wide with both fear and curiosity. Jake's pulse quickened. What do you mean? He called out, feeling like he had stepped into a dream he couldn't wake up from. The magician stepped closer, illuminating his face in the moonlight. Be careful what you wish for, my young dreamers, he warned, a smirk crossing his lips. Magic comes at a cost, and not all stones shine with good fortune. Jake felt the air grow thick with uncertainty, and his heart raced. Suddenly, the picnic felt like a fragile bubble about to burst, and reality was closing in. Are you ready to embrace your fate? The magician asked, his eyes glistening with enigmatic power. As the laughter from earlier dimmed, Jake faced Mia, feeling the weight of her dreams on his shoulders. What were they truly willing to sacrifice for a chance at greatness? Everything was changing, and it was clear they had to decide now. As the magician's gaze bore into him, Jake found himself wondering, what was the true price of striving for their dreams? He didn't know how much longer they could ignore the warnings lingering in the air. Jake's heart thudded like a drum in his chest as he met the magician's piercing gaze. The words floated between them, thick and heavy. It felt like time had slowed, the laughter and play from moments ago fading into a haunting silence. Mia, he breathed, uncertainty twisting in his gut. She looked up at him, her eyes reflecting the moonlight and mirroring his fear. What if their dreams weren't worth the price they might have to pay? The magician took a glowing step forward, shadows swirling around him. Every wish comes with a threat of consequence. You, dear ones, must choose wisely. Jake's instincts screamed at him to take Mia's hand, to run away from the enigmatic figure and this heavy decision. But the weight of the stone in his pocket reminded him of the possibilities it held, possibilities that could change everything for Mia. He began to question himself. What did it mean for them? Mia's voice was barely a whisper, but it broke through the fog of uncertainty. What if we can do this together? What if we take a chance? It terrified him. The thought of failure loomed like a storm cloud, but there was fire in her eyes that ignited something inside of him, a flicker of hope mixed with the fear. The magician chuckled, a low, rumbling sound that echoed through the night. Ah, but hope without caution is merely folly. Would you stake your dreams on uncertain magic? Silence fell again, thick and heavy, as Jake turned the stone over in his fingers. He remembered Mia performing, the joy she brought through her talent, and the way it lit up her whole face. Could that truly be taken from her due to fear? Mia, what do you want? He asked softly. The question hung in the air like an unspoken contract between them. I want to shine, she said, a determined tremor in her voice. I want to prove that I can do it. This is my chance. A wave of pride washed over him. As frightening as the unknown was, he wanted this for her. But he also wanted to protect her. But at what cost? He pressed, his heart heavy with doubt. The cost is courage, the magician interjected, the willingness to step into the dark without knowing what lies ahead. Jake felt a spark of defiance surge. Courage. Yes, that was something worth sacrificing for. He looked at Mia, her steady gaze filled with resolve, and he realized they weren't alone in this fight. Let us do it together, he said, his voice stronger, emboldened by her spirit. Whatever the cost, we'll face it side by side. The magician's smile widened, revealing a hint of menace. Very well then. Are you prepared to reveal your deepest wishes to the universe? A shiver ran through Jake at his words. There was no turning back now. As the night deepened, filled with unseen possibilities, they stood united and ready to embrace the adventure ahead. Let us find out what magic truly means for us, Jake declared, squeezing Mia's hand tightly, feeling the warmth of her resolve against his. The magician stepped back, arms wide open, as if presenting them to a cosmic stage. Then let the magic unfold, but just then, the ground trembled, and a strange wind swept through the picnic, scattering food and blankets. From the trees emerged glimmers of light, illuminating the path before them. Jake's heart raced. Was this magic revealing itself or a warning? In that moment, all they could do was take a deep breath and step forward into the unknown, ready to uncover the true essence of their dreams. And as the fragments of light surged around them, Jake couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. What else awaited in the shadows? Jake and Mia stepped into the encroaching light, their hands firmly clasped. The shimmering fragments wrapped around them like threads of hope. There was a buzz in the air, a tangible electricity that made his skin tingle. Mia's eyes widened, a mix of wonder and fear evident on her face. What happens now? She whispered, leaning closer to him. I guess we just trust, Jake replied, his voice shaky but resolute. As they walked forward, the ground seemed to pulse beneath their feet. Each step echoed with the heartbeat of the universe, and Jake felt an undeniable connection to something greater. The magician's words danced in his mind, each syllable laced with meaning. What were they willing to trade? The glimmers around them morphed into shapes, swirling and weaving like a tapestry of twilight dreams. Jake squinted, trying to discern a pattern. What is this? He asked aloud. Magic, came the enigmatic voice of the magician, whose presence was now like an invisible shadow wrapped closely behind them. And it's only the beginning. Mia turned to look at him, her determination unbroken. We can do this, right? We just need to know our wishes. Jake swallowed hard, the weight of her gaze grounding him. It's more than wishes, he said. It's what we're willing to fight for, what we want to become. They pressed onward through the ethereal glow, their heartbeats syncing with the rhythm of the world around them. Suddenly, the lights intensified, blindingly bright, before converging into a magnificent portal. The air thickened, and they felt themselves pulled toward it, as if the very essence of their dreams was on the other side. Are you ready? Jake asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Mia's grip tightened around his hand, her courage shimmering like the portal's edges. Together. Without another word, they stepped through the shimmering veil. The world around them shifted abruptly as if flipping pages in a book. They landed softly, the ground beneath them transformed into a vibrant field of stars stretching infinitely in every direction. Bright constellations sparkled playfully, and a silver mist hung in the cool night air, wrapping around them like a comforting blanket. Where are we? Mia breathed, her eyes alight with wonder. A place of possibilities, the magician said, his voice echoing softly, reverberating as if it were laced with the rhythm of the stars, but as Jake looked around, not all was peaceful. In the distance, he spotted shadows moving, hidden among the stars. Something was lurking just beyond the shimmering lights, a threat that felt cold and dissonant. What is that? Jake pointed, his heart racing as fear pricked at his resolve. The magician's smooth grin faltered just slightly, his gaze shifting to the shadows. Ah, those are the guardians of your wishes. Only those who are worthy may pass. Mia's eyes widened. Guardians? What do we have to do? Overcome them. Show them the strength of your wishes, the depth of your courage. Jake felt uncertainty creep back in. He wanted to protect Mia, to shield her from whatever danger loomed ahead. Mia, what if we'll figure it out? She interrupted, determination radiating from her. Together. As they readied themselves to face whatever came next, Jake felt a rush of adrenaline. They had already come this far, and giving up was not an option. Whatever guardians awaited them, he would stand shoulder to shoulder with Mia. Just then, a sudden roar echoed through the expanse, shaking the very ground beneath their feet. Jake's breath caught. The shadows started to take form, fierce silhouettes that emerged from the mist, their eyes glinting like shards of glass. They were coming. Look out! Jake shouted, pushing Mia behind him as he braced for the fight of their lives. But deep down, he felt a flicker of hope. They had each other. And together, they could face the guardians of their dreams head-on. But as the first shadow lunged forward, rising like a wave, Jake realized this battle wasn't just for their wishes, it was for the very truth of who they were destined to become. What would that truth reveal? About them both? He had a sense that something epic was about to unfold. The shadows poured toward them, each figure a twisted version of something they feared. Jake's heart raced as he scanned the incoming threat. The lead guardian, hulking and ominous, bore glowing eyes that seemed to pierce straight through him. "Stay close," he yelled over the rising noise. Mia didn't falter, stepping up beside him. "We can't let them intimidate us. We have to believe in our wishes." With a primal roar, the shadow lunged, and instincts kicked in. Jake's body moved before he could think. He stepped forward, feeling an inexplicable surge of energy course through him. "You'll never take our dreams," he shouted, surprised by the conviction in his voice. As the first shadow collided with him, Jake braced for impact. The encounter was surreal. Instead of a painful confrontation, he felt a rush of warmth unfurl from inside. Memories flashed in his mind, his childhood dreams, the laughter of friends, the warmth of his father's encouragement. Suddenly, he wasn't just defending their wishes, he was harnessing the very essence of what he hoped to become. Mia mirrored his actions, stepping forward bravely as another shadow approached. "We won't back down." The fierceness in her eyes shone like a beacon, igniting something deep within Jake. He felt her courage fuse with his own. Together, they summoned their thoughts, forging a bond between them that felt electric. The shadows, caught off guard, hesitated, eyes wide. It was as if they didn't expect their victims to fight back so fiercely, a revelation that sent a ripple of confusion through the darkness. "What are you waiting for? Show them!" Jake yelled, gathering every ounce of strength he had. With a roar, he unleashed the power of hope, splitting the air. The fabric of space around them shimmered, like a tapestry coming undone. Mia was radiant beside him, the light of who she was intertwining with his, growing brighter every second. She looked at Jake, and in that moment, they were not just two scared kids in a dangerous land, they were warriors, defenders of their dreams. The lead guardian faltered, its visage shifting, as if feeling the weight of their combined force. "What is this?" it growled, a mixture of rage and disbelief. "This is us," Mia shouted, her voice steady and powerful. "You can't take what isn't yours." Jake felt the very ground resonate with their will. The shadows began to falter, their forms flickering like static on an old television. Jake and Mia pushed forward, channeling every dream and fearless hope they harbored. One by one, the guardians dissolved into smoke, fragments of darkness scattered like embers against the gentle night sky. The air was electric with the energy of their triumph, and for a fleeting moment, everything felt light. Yet, as the last shadow evaporated, Jake's exhilaration was met with a heavy silence, leaving a question hanging thick in the air. "Did we do it?" Mia asked, catching her breath, her eyes filled with uncertainty. Jake looked around. The stars twinkled brightly as if acknowledging their victory, but shadows remained where the guardians once stood. "I think this might just be the beginning," he replied, unease settling around him once more. Suddenly, a new sound broke the silence, an echoing laugh, sweet yet haunting. From the distance, a light began to emerge, pulsating with a rhythm that felt both familiar and unsettling. "What is that?" Jake murmured, both excited and terrified. Mia's gaze remained fixed ahead, her expression shifting from fear to curiosity. "Whatever it is, we have to find out." As the light grew closer, it took a shape, manifesting into something new, someone who was somehow both benevolent and ominous. Jake felt his heart quicken as the figure lured them in like a song, promising secrets wrapped in the mystical folds of their experience. What fate awaits them now? The real journey had just begun, and Jake could feel the stirrings of something transformative on the horizon. Would they dare to uncover what lay ahead? The figure solidified into a radiant woman, her presence shimmering with an ethereal glow. "Welcome, brave dreamers," she said, her voice a melodic blend of warmth and challenge. "You've faced the guardians and emerged victorious. But the true journey begins now." "What do you mean?" Jake asked, his heart pounding with the tension of the unknown. Mia stood beside him, her grip reassuring, their hands intertwined, ready to dive deeper into this unfolding mystery. The shadows you encountered were merely reflections of your fears, and yet, you found the courage to confront them. Now, you must seek the heart of your dreams down the path of transformation, she explained, gesturing toward a swirling, radiant doorway shimmering at the edge of the starry field. Jake glanced at Mia, her eyes sparkling with a mix of apprehension and determination. "Are we ready?" he whispered, their past fears bubbling to the surface. "We faced the Guardians together. We can do this, Jake," she replied firmly. Confidence washed over him. They had come this far, and with each other, there was nothing they couldn't tackle. Taking a deep breath, they walked toward the radiant doorway. As they stepped through, the air shifted, swirling around them, enveloping them in a cocoon of light and warmth. Jake felt the burdens of his worries begin to lift, replaced by an exhilarating sense of hope and possibility. Emerging into a world unlike any they had encountered, they found themselves in a vibrant vista of colors, hues they had never seen painted the sky. Flowers of all shapes and sizes danced in the gentle breeze, carrying the sweet scent of blooming dreams. This was a place of creation, a canvas for all that they had envisioned for themselves. "Here, you will discover the essence of what you truly wish to become," the radiant figure explained, her glow pulsating softly. "What will you manifest in this world?" Jake's thoughts raced. "I want to be a father who inspires, someone who can guide Lily and Mia to chase their dreams without fear." He could see himself in a comforting role, unwavering even in uncertainty. "And for you, Mia?" the figure gently prompted. "I want to unleash my dancing spirit, to share my passion with the world and let it be seen." Mia's voice rang clear, and Jake could feel her growing confidence, vibrant and magnetic. "Then let it be so," the figure declared, raising her arms like a conductor guiding an orchestra of dreams. In an explosion of radiant light, they felt their dreams manifesting around them. Jake saw visions of sharing joy and laughter with Lily, guiding other children in dance, teaching them to embrace their uniqueness. Mia sprang forth into an intricate dance, twirling and weaving through the air, each move leaving trails of light and color that sparked wonder in the air. As she danced, Jake realized the beauty of their transformation wasn't in perfection but in the raw act of being unapologetically themselves. Every step Mia took resonated with authenticity, and in that moment, Jake understood that the journey was as vital as the destination. The radiant figure turned to them, her voice soft yet powerful. "This is the magic within you. Cherish it, nurture it, and share it with the world. Remember, life is about embracing both the light and the shadows." A deep sense of understanding washed over Jake. They could navigate through life's trials together. With that realization, he felt a surge of strength. "Together, we'll face whatever comes next," he vowed, looking at Mia, who nodded with bright eyes. The scene began to shift, transforming into their home full of laughter and warmth, where Lily danced around the living room with joy, mirroring the boundless vibrancy of Mia's earlier performance. Just then, the airy voice of the radiant figure echoed through their hearts. "If you ever doubt your strength, remember this place, and lean on each other." As the world around them settled, Jake turned to Mia with gratitude. "Thank you. What you brought to our family has changed everything." Mia beamed, a radiant smile igniting her face. "And you helped me find my way." With a newfound sense of purpose, they stepped forward into their lives, ready to blend dreams and reality, to create a life brimming with love, laughter, and the magic they had discovered together. As they held hands and stepped out of the portal into the soft glow of their backyard, it felt like the beginning of the rest of their lives. Let that light shine brightly, and together, they could transform their fears into strength. And beyond the shadows, dreams waited to be born. Now, your journey begins here too. Subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and show your support. Comment your reactions and feelings about the ending. Share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. You need to subscribe now. This is the moment to show your support, and don't wait not even one more second to share.